Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today, man, I'll be talking about the San Antonio Spurs and if they're legit. Now, first things first, I want to say shout out to you guys. That Paolo Banchero video I dropped a couple days ago is actually doing decently well on the channel. Appreciate y'all for the support. Magic fans, Paolo haters, appreciate y'all watching the video. Really appreciate y'all. Did a little bit of a stats and a little bit of film breakdown. Do a lot of that. But yeah, really do appreciate y'all for showing love to that and just motivated me to come out with this video right here. So here it is. San Antonio Spurs. Now, I was a Miami Heat fan. We just played the Spurs last night, so I saw in depth the entirety of the game. And the San Antonio Spurs are playing a really great brand of basketball. They have one of the top 5 players in the NBA right now in Victor Wembanyama. He's unequivocally a top 5. Coming to the season, I saw him probably in the top 10. And, you know, coming off the blood clots, I was really interested to see what would happen. I wanted to see what happened in terms of his shot diet, because last year he was spamming a lot of threes, getting to the mid-range and not attacking the rim as much as he should have. And this season, he's really not fully cutting out threes, shooting a handful of threes a game, but nowhere near spamming threes. He's getting to the rim, getting to the mid-range, taking advantage of his height, being 7'4", the turnaround fadeaway, the mid-range jump shot, just backing people down, just yamming out their heads, and getting to the line and shooting 10 free throws a game. Like, Wemby has been absolutely phenomenal this season. He's an absolute alien. He's one of the most entertaining players in all of basketball. This video is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports app where you can win money by just choosing more or less on each projection, ranging from sports like the NFL to the MLB to the NBA to so much more, including esports and over 100 different sports and leagues. Now, no users, you can use my sign-up code, your boy John, YABOYYJOHN, and win $50 by just placing a $5 entry regardless if you win or lose that entry. Thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring this video. I'll be honest with you guys, in terms of the Spurs this season, I was very down on them, to be quite frank. I was probably one of the most down people on the Spurs, to be honest. It was just spacing. It's just nowadays the whole spacing thing. Wemby at best league average 3-point shooter. Stephon Castle below average. Fox, outside of that first half in 2024, has been below average. Then you have Harrison Barnes, and then you have Devin Vassell, who is their best 3-point shooter. You would think, and they're starting 5 at the minimum, and then there's Harrison Barnes, and then there's Champagnie. But you know, shooting, 3-point shooting, mid-range shooting, I would take Vassell, but that's besides the point. That is besides the point. But so far, so great. Now, it has come against the Mavericks opening day. That was a great game. The Pelicans against probably one of the bottom minimum 10 center trios in the NBA right now currently. Shout out to them, though. Shout out to Derek Queen. Shout out to Eve Misi. And then they signed DeAndre Jordan. They have Carlo. Not gonna try to pronounce his last name. It's like something with an M. Shout out to Brodo. The Brooklyn Nets, who are one of the worst teams in basketball. The Raptors, who I'm decently high on, as I think they will be in the play-in. And then they faced the Miami Heat last night. And those aren't any teams that anybody was sky high on coming into the season at all. But I don't care. This is great hoops, and it's been a beautiful brand of basketball to watch on both ends. And it really starts with Victor Wembanyama. He is easily one of the top 5 guys for MVP. And it was funny enough, I talked about this in my couple videos prior. There was a Bleacher Report article, could Wemby be top 5? And I was like, I think Wemby can be a top 5 player, but I don't think the Spurs will be anywhere near like a top 10 team. And so far, San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama will finish top 5 at MVP. Now, I just want to purposely say this. I'm going to disagree. Not anything against Wemby. I just don't think the Spurs will be one of the top 10, maybe even top 10 to 12 teams in the NBA, and really to be up there for MVP, you have to be on one of those teams, and if not, yeah. Also, one of the things is the 65 games recommendations for Wemby. Obviously, the blood clot things last season. Hopefully, he's good to go. See clips of him, he looks pretty good, but gotta preface that and let that be known, precursor that. But top 5 in MVP, I mean, it's going to be the top 4. It's going to be SGA. It's going to be Jokic. It's going to be Giannis. Giannis, again, I just said the whole 10 to 12 teams thing, so it's kind of just eating my words. So maybe women might, my fault on me. It's gonna be Luka Doncic, who again may not be on it. Minimum be in a top 12 team though, and it's gonna be I don't know. Those 4 guys are really locked up though. Those are top 4 players in ball. Maybe like Anthony Edwards, maybe I don't know, Brunson, maybe I don't know, but Wemby, he can be a top 5 player in the league. I don't think the Spurs will be up there standings wise to let it be available for him to be top 5 in MVP, even though I think he'll have a really good season, averaging close to like 25, 10, and like 4 assists averaging like 3 to 4, 3.5 to 4 blocks a game. I think you have a big time season down there in San Antonio, but I don't know. I'm gonna disagree with this, just team wise, just to get them in that position. But other than that, I think the world of Victor Wembanyama. Spacing wise, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, especially if you start Sochan or Kornet, it's not enough spacing in my humble opinion. But yeah, that has been a absolute horseshit take. But it is what it is. It's only been 5 games at the end of the day. But yeah, definitely eating my words up right now. But yeah, like I mentioned, as a Heat fan, I really don't want to say this, but the Spurs might be back. The Heat-Spurs rivalry is so back. Oh my God, Twitter was on fire. We got Asia, Bam. We got Khalil Ware. We got this, we got that. We got Spurs fans and Texas residents misinterpreting Bam's quote about the height. He was throwing shots at him, and then he put up 27 on his head, but he only really hit 4 field goals on him. Like, Spurs-Heat rivalry is so back, man. Yeah, the Spurs are second in net rating, only behind the Nuggets at 13.3. They are 8th in offensive rating at 117.5. They are second in defensive rating at 104.2. Wemby is clearly the best defender in the NBA. Like, it's really hysterical. Like, I made this comparison early on Twitter. It's insane just how elite a defender Victor Wembanyama is. Just stay healthy. Like, he literally shuts down the entire paint. The Miami Heat came into the game with the highest pace in the NBA. Nikola Jovic, a lot of these guys in the Miami Heat, they want to go ahead and attack the rim to the point where Victor Wembanyama held the paint on lock so much that Bam Adebayo shot 13 threes. Now, he actually had a pretty good game against Wemby, but there's a lot of points where it was like skepticism and this and that, and he had a wide open 3, and he just took it, and he went 4-13. Now, I don't want Bam Adebayo ever shooting anything more than like 6 threes a game, to be quite frank. I don't care if he's open. Again, with like Khalil Ware as well, like, these guys, like, they live with shots like that. So, yeah. But yeah, like, just clogging the paint, dude. It literally reminded me of, I know y'all ever been to, like, air hockey at, I think, David Butters or something like that. And they literally just clogged the entire paint. Like, dude, this is, like, this is unfair. Like, it's an alien gotta be stopped. Like, he literally shuts down the entire paint. And you really notice it when you're really, like, locked in, like, watch Wemby from afar, and then watch Wemby when your team is facing against them. Dude, it's just, you really, like, the nuance of Wemby, you're like, dude, holy shit. Like, I've watched a ton of Wemby this season, but really watching him against the Heat, and really, like, rooting against him, against my team, obviously, and it's like, dude, this guy's not only a guy, he's, like, unequivocally a superstar. This is, like, first team All-NBA. This is, like, legit MVP candidate. This guy's a dog. Yeah, you really feel the frustration going up against them. The Spurs are also 6th in points per game at 118.2, and they put up a really good performance, giving up 101 points yesterday to the Miami Heat, a team that entered the game, or not entered the game, but after the game, were 5th in points at 125.4, 3rd in net rating at 10.3, 4th in defensive rating at 106.3, 9th in offensive rating at 116.8, and held them to 101 as the Heat held them to 107 points in a great game. That was a lot of first turnovers at the end of the game, and Victor Wembanyama coming up clutch on both ends of the basketball. Guys insane. So Wemby on the season is averaging he's averaging actually 30 points a game, close to 15 rebounds, which was one of my low-key critiques on Wemby, just needing to rebound the basketball a little bit more. 3 assists a game, close to 5 blocks, just like 4.8, like unequivocally the best defender in basketball. I don't think it's particularly close whatsoever. And also 1.4 steals per game. So that's close to 6.4 stocks. Not like Apple stocks, steals and blocks in 5 games on 56% from the field and 64.5% true shooting. Yeah, the guy's insane. Wemby yesterday, in really just all throughout the season, has been getting to the rim. The midi has been money. Again, he's not spamming threes. And he's also averaging, like I mentioned earlier, close to 10 free throws a game as well. It's just been a really just great joy to watch him this season, as long as he's not facing against your former team. But he fried Anthony Davis and Lively. He had an insane debut coming off of blood clots. I listened to a couple of clips of me on Playback as you watch these games. Here's the clip of Wemby frying. I believe it was in order. Here's the AD clip right here.
Antonio's going with the 2 big lineup. What do they call that now? French vanilla with Kornet and Wembanyama. Pretty good nickname.
Wemby working Davis, spinning, taking, hitting.
Don't run from that fucking bell, Anthony Sochan. Holy shit, Wemby.
And that
Dude.
is number 4 on Anthony Davis. Jason Kidd.
Dog.
Decided
Wemby's top
to
5
roll the
already.
dice.
Argue with a fucking wall.
And Wemby won.
Just the moves of a point guard.
Like, dude.
With a 7'5" body. And again, you're talking.
And then here's the lively clip where he comboed up and hit a 3, and it was an and 1 for 4 points right here from that boy Victor Wembanyama.
Your dad in the driveway when you're 8 years old.
Hello? Comboing up? Shut the fuck up, Wemby. Shut up. Ah! Nah, bro. Telling y'all, Wemby is already top 5. He might be 5th. He's in my top 5 already. Look at this nigga. Comboing up, step that 3 and 1. Big on big.
Block, crossover through the legs.
Try lively, like dog.
Three and picks up the
He
foul.
literally just came off blood clots and is doing this shit, dude. This is ridiculous.
Ridiculous watching this guy. It's like an alien.
The guy's just insane. The guy is just clinically insane again. He was doing all of that you just saw right now, coming off of blood clots and a serious injury. Trust me, as a Heat fan, once again, we obviously know too well about that, having Chris Bosh have to unexpectedly retire very early, prematurely because of blood clots after he just signed the extension with the Miami Heat for, what was it, like 4 years after getting a good offer from the Rockets and at least quote-unquote molding it and then returning after LeBron had left the Miami Heat and it was just Dwayne Wade from the Big Three still there. So, yeah. Shout out to Wemby. Shout out to my GOAT, Chris Bosh. But yeah. But yeah, Wemby, man, like I mentioned, he takes over the entire paint. There's a reason why he dressed up as Slender Man. He said he wasn't gonna have a Halloween fit because he's not playing on the day, which is like, no, just post an IG pic or something. But it's just so incredibly frustrating for the opposition, just the way he clogs up the paint, just leads to skepticism, leads to turnovers, leads to this, just leads to overthinking. Like, he literally takes over the entire paint. Like yesterday at the end of the game against the Heat, he does this and it just finishes off right here. Like, Wemby, dude, like, putting my love for the game right here. Like, what the fuck, dog?
Really focused, got his legs underneath him. Nice, powerful jumper.
And look at them, they just snatch blocked him. Like, what the? Watch him hit some bullshit here.
Wemby on the other end.
Like, you just gotta kill me at this point, dude. I can't deal with this shit, dude.
He just smothered.
Right there. Guy's insane. Again, literally reminds me of Dave and Buster's ice hockey. Like, dog, come on, man. And then yesterday, again, doing this against one of the better offenses entering the game and the number 1 pace in the NBA, a team that wants to drive to the rim at will, get all the way to the rim, play with fast pace, and then you have a guy like the Wembyama who felt like he barely took a rest, and when he did, it felt like he was back in an instant, so it didn't really help that much. Even with Biyombo playing over like Lou Kornet, who unfortunately was injured. But yeah, like, his length is just so insane. Pause. A couple guys I want to talk about as well. Stephon Castle. I'll be honest, like the Spurs, I wasn't incredibly high on Stephon Castle last year because of his efficiency problems. His just the second half of the season without having De'Aaron Fox after he went under surgery, and then Victor Wembanyama being out with the blood clots. There's a lot on Stephon Castle's plate, and that's not Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle isn't a number 1 option on a championship level team. Stephon Castle should never have that high of a usage rate as he had in the second half last season. So that got a lot of people a bad taste in their mouths. And again, this season struggled with turnovers, but I still think this has been a really good start so far for Stephon Castle. And yeah, I have to eat my words on him. He's been great so far, especially. He's always been a confident player. Remember, as a Providence Friars fan, seeing him at UConn, I mean, he had the hops, but the jump shot was always the question mark. But yeah, this is a UConn legend. This is a Big East legend. This guy is, he's a dog at the end of the day. He's a dog. He's been very, very impressive, especially shooting the ball this season from 3. He's been very, very confident. And not only has he been confident, he's been, I believe, by the numbers, like slightly above average in terms of shooting 3s. I've really liked what I've seen from his mid-range jump shot this season as well. And obviously, we know he's a defensive demon. He is an absolute hound on the defensive side of the basketball. Yeah, man, Stephon Castle's been great. Downhill, playmaking-wise, again, the turnovers, have been a thing, but I have liked what I've seen from playmaking-wise this season. Not to discredit the turnovers, but I've liked what I've seen playmaking-wise out of him this season. Been impressed by the mid-range jump shot. I didn't fully see the vision of Stephon Castle. He just had so much on his plate that it didn't really look visually appealing, and the true shooting and the field goal percentage and looking at his shot chart and watching back the film, I mean, it didn't look visually appealing, but again, he had too much on his plate, so I'll give him some grace. I won't give him all grace, but I'll give him some grace on that. But wow, he has been the prototypical, just great auxiliary piece for the Spurs, and I'm definitely seeing some potential star potential with Stephon Castle, which, if you asked me that a couple months back, I would have been like, potentially sell high Stephon Castle, but wow, he's making me eat a lot of my words. Again, it's been 5 games. Things can change, but so far, so good for Stephon Castle. Nothing you can tell me. No threes. Hey, Bam Adebayo, say no to threes. We just don't have... You're flailing your arm like you're a superstar, Wiggins. You're not getting that call. Like, play ethical. How is he not out of bounds? Bro, this tall fuck. He's hitting that, by the way. Like, what did I do to deserve this shit, dog? Like, fuck. Very, very sick, dude. Now, I want to get into Devin Vassell. Devin Vassell's confidence, as we know, is through the roof. He dealt with a bit of injuries last season, as I feel like he always did after getting that max contract. Not max, but getting paid a healthy amount. And he struggled with the jump shot a little bit, but I still believe in Devin Vassell's jump shot. He's a guy that I'm also buying stock in for this season. Just a really authentic and pure mid-range jump shooter. He's pretty decent at getting to the rim. And I feel like he's a perfect guy you want to have in the starting 5 alongside Wemby when he inevitably gets double-teamed, which will lead to wide-open threes, which will lead to like cuts and potential mid-range jump shot opportunities as well. I really do like me some Stephon. I was literally about to pronounce Stephon and Devin at the same time. I really like me some Devin Vassell. And he's also one of those guys that it's always good to hit one of those back-breaking 3/mid-range jump shots in the clutch in the middle of a run. Yeah, that's the type of guy Devin Vassell is. Dylan Harper, I want to get into. Dylan Harper, I'll be honest. Dylan Harper's already a guy. Coming from Rutgers, and as not a big college basketball fan outside of the Big East and my Providence Friars and my alma mater, Rhode Island Rams, in the A10, I don't really watch too much college hoops. I'm gonna start watching it this year on Playback, some hyped up games, and really, get some guys, really do some quote unquote scouting and stuff like that. But not watching much of him or Ace Bailey at Rutgers. I didn't know what to go in with. I know he was the son of former Bulls legend Ron Harper Jr., but outside of that, I didn't know too much about him. And outside of his brother, what's it called? Outside of his brother as well. Outside of his brother. But yeah, he's definitely, the eye test has been really good so far, watching Dylan Harper's ability to get downhill, which we knew entering the NBA draft that was one of the things that he excelled at. I've really liked his playmaking so far, and I really liked that I didn't hear too much about her. There's amount of skepticism, which is why I was a little bit skepticist on the Spurs as well this season. His shooting, especially the corner 3-point shot, the mid-range jump shot has looked pretty okay as well. Like, I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing from Dylan Harper. He's just very good downhill, in the playmaking. Again, he looks like a seasoned vet, and he's a rookie, and he was a one and done out of Rutgers, and didn't, from what I heard, have a good season. They didn't make March Madness with 2 top 5 picks, or top 6, and Ace Bailey potentially would have been higher, but Omar Bell or something like that, give me the Wire vibes. But anyways, yeah, he just looked like a vet. He looks wise beyond his years, and the jump shot just looks a lot better than advertised. And then there's still the Spurs, who still have their Robin with Victor Wembanyama's sidekick on the way. I don't know when he'll be back, but they still have De'Aaron Fox, who's an All-NBA caliber guard, at the very least an all-star guard. His ability to get downhill, a silky smooth mid-range jump shot. He's above average playmaker. He's a very innovative defender. Swiping a Fox. He gets good steals. This is a really damn good basketball player. Now, he didn't have the greatest season last year. He definitely struggled with his efficiency, but De'Aaron Fox is a damn good talent. He will, at the minimum, always be an all-star caliber player. You'd be like, oh, you want to give Dylan Harper this? Dylan Harper will have his struggles. This is a rookie. It's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows. So you have your consistent guy in De'Aaron Fox. Then you have Dylan Harper manning the bench. Trust me, you can never have enough. Trust me. Most times you can never have enough. And then they also have Jeremy Sochan, who's going to be coming in, and obviously we know his calling card is defense, and he's also brings rebounding to you, and you know his ability to finish at the rim as a slasher at least. You know, the jump shot's still a work in progress, but there's that as at least. And then there's also another guy, one of their rookies, Carter Bryant, who, you know, as a big college basketball fan, I've heard good things of coming out of Arizona, who's heralded as a really good defender. And he should be a good 3-and-D guy at the very least in the NBA as well when you see him getting a good role, maybe potentially Harrison Barnes or something like that, Jeremy Sochan, something like that. I was talking to a Spurs fan the other day. Potentially one of those guys get moved or something like that and opens up some minutes at the 3 or 4 for Carter Bryant, maybe like Julian Champagnie, I don't know. Luke Kornet as well, was out yesterday, but he is one of the best backups in basketball. Funny enough, the reverse Brook Lopez, going from a shooter with the Knicks and then the Bulls, and then now being a meme initially with the Kornet quartet, with the Kornet contest, just jumping up high as hell with his like palms of his hands on like 3-point closeouts, and then last season have a really good season with the Boston Celtics, and then getting paid this season really handsomely and looking pretty good so far. A guy that you can play behind Wemby or with Wemby, like yeah. Luke Kornet is a really damn good basketball player. Shout out to Luke Kornet. You also have Keldon Johnson, Kentucky legend, who, you know, he's dealt with his struggles, his ups and downs. I really like his ability to get downhill, especially an impressive player when he's hitting those corner 3-point jump shots. Yeah, he's definitely an intriguing guy for sure. Yeah, again, he's brolic. I remember a play yesterday. He literally just like bodied Kalower. I'm like, yo, Kalower, I know you're like 20. How old is Kalower? Like 21 or something like that. Like, yeah, Kalower's 21. Nico's 22. I was talking about them earlier. But yeah, it's like, dude, you can't be 7'1". You're getting bodied. Like, Keldon Johnson is like low-key built. Bro, Keldon Johnson, you could definitely see me putting the work in the gym. Shout out to Keldon Johnson for sure. And then there's Julian Champagnie, brother of, obviously, Justin Champagnie of the Washington Wizards. Now, Julian Champagnie, he struggled with a shot this season, but I still believe in him. He's 6'7", Sochan's legend, Big E's legend. He has an absolute rocket launcher on his right shoulder. Just, guy's an absolute sniper. I do believe in Julian Champagnie. And then there's Harrison Barnes as well, who, spacing-wise, I assume will start, even with Jeremy Sochan back. Wemby's a low-volume 3-point shooter. Stephon Castle is looking very, very confident so far. But he's only slightly above average at the very best so far. And then Fox, outside of that first half in 2024 with the Kings, when he was great from 3 and set it off in the second half of the season, hasn't been an above average 3-point shooter. And then there's Devin Vassell, who, you know, he just deal with his unfortunate injuries here and there, but he's a damn good player in this league. And I really keep saying this for the last 3 years. Can Devin Vassell finally take the leap? But the question of the matter is, are the San Antonio Spurs legit? And I'm going to say they are. Really good on both ends. You have a top 5 player. You have a really good defense. So far, you've had a really good offense. I really want to see. Oh wait, I saw something in my notes earlier. I forgot to bring that up. The first part. But yeah, they play the Suns next, then the Lakers, then the Rockets, and then we'll be seated for that. We'll be seated for pure hatred. Oh my god, dude, Spurs. I don't know what it is with Elon. Every single time my team faces somebody on Twitter, like it doesn't matter if the NFL, NBA, I just keep getting bombarded in my For You page on Twitter with the opposition like fans. It's like, holy shit, I really can't escape this. Like yesterday was with the Spurs. The other week it was full of the Saints, and the other week was full of the what's it called? The Panthers. Is like, dude, holy shit, I really can't escape y'all. Like on the week before that, I was like the Bills. Like, I really can't escape y'all at all. But at the end of the day, I think the Spurs are legit. I think at the very worst, I see them as being the 6th seed in the Western Conference. As a guy that was all the way out on the Spurs, I am all the way in on them. I do want to see that testing on the Rockets, who have been disappointing this season. They've been getting better recently, but we'll be seated for that game for sure. Shout out to Mitch Johnson as well. Hopefully Greg Popovich is in good spirits. I saw him recently in San Antonio for the Spurs game. I think it was something with like an award or something like that, but he didn't want to add too much like publicity and stuff like that, so I don't think he talked, but he was there in the building at least, so shout out to him. San Antonio Spurs are back. I don't think they've won a playoff series since like 2017 semifinals, so Spurs fans, hey, I think it's time for y'all to change that, and I do think you guys are legit. I want to see how Fox looks when he comes back, but so far so good. Still looks like a really good ball club. As long as Wemby can stay healthy and Fox meshes and Castle still doing his thing, and Vassell is Vassell, and yeah, and then you could eventually unlock Carter Bryant. Yeah, I think this is a pretty damn good ball club. So yes, to answer my own question, are the San Antonio Spurs legit? Yes, I do see them. You know, I can see the San Antonio Spurs. I'll predict them to be like a 5th to 6th seed in the Western Conference. So yeah, right now they're, I believe, I mean, they're undefeated, obviously, for the first time in a while. I think this is the first time in the franchise history or some shit like that. I saw leaks reports that, but right now they obviously have they have the second best record in the NBA right now, only behind the Thunder, who are 6-0. They've played 2 double overtime games, funny enough, and then the Spurs, who are 5-0, and then you have the Bulls, the Sixers, the Bucks, Nuggets, Warriors, my Heat, then the Cavaliers, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Cavs, and then there's the Blazers. So a lot will probably change in that in the next coming months and things of that nature. But yeah, this is a really good brand of basketball, and congratulations, San Antonio Spurs fans. As much as it pains me to say, as a diehard 23-year-old Miami Heat fan, I think you guys may officially be back. But yeah, but other than that, y'all, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, follow me on Playback and Instagram. Links to everything will and will always be in the description box down below. But other than that, it's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.